Oh, okay. We're live. All right. The lighting. I gotta figure this lighting out. It's still off. It is still off. It's literally the third day, and it's bothering me. It's bothering me at this point. Um. Okay. Take this out of the way. You can stay. You can stay. You can stay, buddy. News report for today. That's what we're gonna be doing. Um. But I think first thing before we start, we gotta write something. We gotta write something. I keep forgetting to write this, and something I really want to write. Um, we're gonna write. Ori, let's see. And, well, so let's get. No, we're not gonna get right into it. Right. First, we need to speak a little. I try to. Okay. What is going on today? Well, with me alone. Um, it's the third day of doing this, and usually the third day is when I hit a limit um for my consistency. That's what's happened in the past based on my observations, right? That's what I've seen. It- but I have a feeling we can push past that level and continue to create consistent content every day, especially the news report. We have a big schedule for creating content. It's a lot, right? Show up every day, purposeful, intentional, and repetition. That is the goal. But sometimes that goal is a little it takes a toll. And especially today, I was looking for reasons to not do the live stream, to not do the news report. Um and I don't know. I don't know how I'm pushing past it. I just know that I want to. That there's a desire to do that. So if I can push past it, this day will be in my memory because of that. Because I really did not want to do this today, but I'm pushing myself to actually create and do something today. So let's do it. News report: top US and world headlines today. Um, First and foremost, let's see. First and foremost, we have to start with this, right? Something so simple. Glory to God, Lord have mercy on me, and God willing, we can continue this every day. Three simple things. Three simple things for life. Um, let's go. First, we are going to talk just briefly about we're just gonna talk a little, just quick about Saint. mm, We're gonna talk briefly, very briefly. We're gonna talk briefly about Saint Nicholas of Myra. Uh, Saint Nicholas of Myra, also called Nicholas the Wonder Worker, was the Archbishop of Myra, southern western Turkey today. He lived in the 4th century and became one of the most recognized saints in the Orthodox world. Right? He was born, and I don't know how to say this, but he was born in Patara. Patara. He became Bishop of Myra, known for miracles, compassion, justice, and a hidden generosity. He fought for the correct teachings of Christ's divinity, and he died around 343 AD. There's three main things that makes Nicholas of Myra unique in some sense. He confronted Arius for attacking the divinity of Christ. This is one of the reasons he's loved as a protector of the true faith. He saved Myra from famine. And remember, he was the bishop of Myra. So he saved Myra from famine, protected sailors, freed innocent from false convictions, and helped the poor anonymous, anonymously. In the Eastern Orthodox world, there's a lot of consistent reports of people getting their prayers answered by him, uh, as an intercession, right? So he intercedes for us to God. The main feast of Saint Nicholas was yesterday, December 6th. Even though today is not the feast, he is still honored every day in the church through prayers, hymns, and icons. So, Saint Nicholas of Myra, holy wonder worker and defender of the innocents, stand with me today, guide me, protect me, and open the path that God has prepared for me. Amen. We can continue with our daily news and reports. Uh, First thing we have a structure that we like to follow, but wow, we haven't even. Okay, well, first things first, we have to launch the stream on Kick, um, which I should have done beforehand, but that's fine. That really calmed me down, talking about the true faith, which is Eastern Orthodoxy. Um, we can't deny how God shows himself in other faiths and in other parts of creation, but it is a fact that the Lord rests in Orthodoxy, and it is the true body of Christ. Now, that we have that set up, do we have the setup? Okay, we do have the setup. Yeah, we do have the setup. Okay, we can leave that there. Now we can leave that there. This, we have two angles.
It's great to meet you. How's your day going?
No, please no. So what was I saying? Yeah. So talking about the faith really kind of centers me in what I need to do. Um, but it also takes some of the energetic self out of me. So, because try to find a balance. Because when I'm thinking about the Orthodox life, I'm thinking about how that's all I want. That's all that I want. But I have these specific things that I'm able to do. So ignoring that and betraying what I've been given would be a dishonor. So I have the ability to make these videos to understand this online world. So it's a sacrifice that I'm willing to make. I in my life, I wish I was born in a monastery and I lived there throughout my whole life. That's what I wish for myself. I wish I was in a monastery forever. But I have a task that I am able to complete. Not that I want to complete it. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do any of this. This is none of this. I do it as a duty, you can say. And this is only the start. This is the third day, but I've been building this company for about 5 years, and I've been trying to get it off the ground for 6 years. Um, since I was 18, and I'm glad now. Now I have Orthodoxy, Eastern Orthodox Church, to center me in my purpose and clarify and light up the way. Enough of that. I could never get enough of that. But we're 14 minutes in and we haven't done the news report, which is it's called the news report. So let's get to the news report. I keep looking over here, but over here, gotta look over here. That simple. All right. Maybe if I close this, I would be able to look over there more. Okay. Now, the news report. That's what we're here for. We're gonna start. What do we usually start with? We're gonna start with. Yeah, that's what I was saying. We have a structure to this live stream because at the end of the day, I want to make it as a news report where we have a section for the actual report, but we're also doing a complete updates of everything that's going on, right? Not not only with me, but throughout the world, right? Let's start with today's alerts. I keep getting the same exact alerts about Putin and Netanyahu. All right, well, that's fine. Let's see. Xi Jinping. So, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. All right. First things first. First alert. We don't have the mini alerts today. We actually only have one alert for today. That's interesting. We only have one alert today. I think yesterday we read the alerts for 2 days, but main alerts for December 7th. Netanyahu says Israel and Hamas will enter ceasefire's second phase soon. On December 7th, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said he will meet U.S. President Donald Trump later this month after a White House invitation following a Monday call. The U.S. backed plan calls for ending Hamas rule in Gaza and envisages 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 my notes my notes. I don't know if that's a mistake. I don't know what I was trying to write right there. I think that's a typo. The US backed plans call for ending Hamas rule in Gaza and ask for releasing Israeli hostages alongside an interim technocratic Palestinian government overseen by an international board of peace and backed by an international security force. Interesting. So they're looking to make this a global looking they're kind of looking to make this a global city. Kind of like the first technocratic nation states. Um, they've already started the demolition. That's what this is, right? It's a demolition for building this city of the future. Under the truce, since October 10th, Hamas has returned all 20 living hostages and 27 bodies in exchange for around 2,000 Palestinian detainees, with one hostage body still in Gaza. Negotiators and guarantors are continuing talks at a critical moment, with Qatar's Prime Minister Sheikh Mohammed bin Abdul Haram Al Thani saying A true ceasefire needs full withdrawal of Israeli forces and addressing Palestinian rights. Yes, obviously, we get that. But what Sheikh Mohammed is not taking into consideration is we obviously need to put the Palestinians and their rights up to the top. But what they are looking to do is set this city up strategically. Um, we need to think about their rights, but we need to take into consideration their actions and what they are looking to do. When we just talked about it, they're wiping the slate clean, getting rid of, trying to get rid of any terrorist organization within that area so they can continue their demolition and start rebuilding the city from zero, right? Their main fear is that they've created future generations with hate, and that's something they've created, they've generated that for themselves. Now, you create the problem and you give the solution, right? But what is the solution? Stay tuned. Stay tuned. Uh, they definitely want a full control from the river to the sea, right? That's obvious. Netanyahu's son, his son, his blood son, has that complete label in his bio on Instagram. That is right there, blatantly out. If you go to Netanyahu's son Instagram, you'll see right there, from the river to the sea. Now, if we understand that, we can understand the movements that they're taking and how all of this can play out. Right. We're expecting the next step. Benjamin Netanyahu, Israeli Prime Minister, said the first phase was nearly finished, and I will be having very important conversations at the end of the month on how to ensure the second phase will be achieved. They're talking in phases, right? And they're talking in phases not as phases towards peace, but as phases to accomplish their plan, right? First phase was to get Trump fully involved with the Israel um, and the Zionist movement. That's the one and only goal, right? Now the second phase, as we've heard in the past, it is relocation. Relocation. They want relocation, and sad reality is how much is a place worth? How much is a place worth? for both sides. If you can negotiate a better life somewhere else, why not? At that point, at that point, it becomes idealistic. If you can push past that point and be relocated somewhere else, why not? Because we clearly understand what they're trying to do. They're trying to level the ground, do a full demolition, and start all over. Use their plan to your advantage. You can relocate now. Because staying there is hard for everyone. It's a complete plan, as we understand. It is not by accident. It is not because of superficial reasons. This is a lot deeper than that. But we must try to understand it from a different perspective. We must move forward with compassion for both sides. Compassion for both sides. Yes, one is the aggressor. It is very clear. But the aggressor never sees themselves as the aggressor. The aggressor always has a reason for it. In this case, the aggressor says that Hamas, a terrorist organization, is their purpose. But clearly, they're going above and beyond that, doing more than they should be. But if we can find the compassion to understand them, not just point the finger at them and tell them what they're doing is wrong, but truly understand their motivations and where these things that they want to accomplish are coming from. They want full control of the Middle East. We want to establish a full democratic republic, nation states in the Middle East, just like we have done with the United States. We want to bring the United States and seed it in the Middle East. That's that's the goal. But it's very hard to do when there is extremist organizations. And it can be solved in a lot of ways, but not by complaining. Not by complaining. Only money moves things. The reason Israel is able to move things is because they have an enormous amount of money. Insane amount of money. Control banks. The Zionist organization. Zionist government. That's who we're talking about. Not the Jews. Not the Jews. Not the Orthodox Jews. not the Israeli people, because we also need to have compassion on them. Why? Because they are under psychological attack by their own government. You can't blame something on the person when they don't have control of their own will, right? Which is just the people who are spreading hate. They don't have control of their own will. They're being fed information. And most of the time, it is propaganda. If we can move past this and actually have some compassion on both sides, we'll come to an understanding and actually work for a resolution. That's the only report we have for today. We only had one report. Now, let's do the actual news report, which is what we came here for. If we can do that right now, that would be great. Let's see. Where is my news report? Where is my news report? Where is my news report? All right. We can, oh, today we can actually look at the markets because today the market's open. We have Bitcoin, gold, and the S&P, maybe oil that we're looking at. All right, let's see what we have for today. Okay. No, we don't have much. We don't have much for today. Today's been a little slow. It's been a little slow on news today. But let's go. Where's the mirror? Right there's the mirror. So, hey. So, well, let's read it since every day we make mistakes because this gets clipped and gets sent out in short form, right? So, but if we can do it better, I think it'll be to save efficiency. So let's read it out loud first and then we'll do the actual report. The U.S. envoy to Ukraine said peace deal is really close, though Moscow and demands significant changes, signaling a fragile but potential breakthrough in the war. In a dramatic move, the government of Benin announced its armed forces had thwarted a coup attempt, a major development for democracy in West Africa. Tensions rose in East Asia as Japan accused China of guiding warplane raider aircraft Okinawa, the most serious military confrontation between the two nations in years. Markets in the Gulf region surged on growing expectations that Federal Reserve will cut interest rates next week, boosting investor optimism and lifting oil prices. Yeah, we definitely saw a move in prices. Okay. Top US and world headlines today. The envoy from the US said a peace deal for Ukraine is really close, though Moscow. Top US and world headlines today. The envoy from the US said a peace deal for Ukraine is really close, though Moscow. Top US and world news today. The envoy from the US said a peace deal for Ukraine is really close, though Moscow demands major changes, a fragile but possible step toward ending the war. In Ukraine was hit by a Russian airstrike, damaging infrastructure and cutting utilities, adding to civilian suffrage. Boeing clarified that the US government planned to take equity stakes in strategic industries won't apply to major defense. What's going on? No. Top US and world news today. The US envoy for Ukraine said a peace deal is really close, though Moscow demands major changes, signaling a fragile but potential breakthrough in war peace talks. Benin's armed forces reported they thwarted a coup attempt, a major development for democracy in West Africa. Chinese jets targeted Japanese aircraft with radar near Okinawa, raising tensions between China and Japan. This this right here It is. What happened? I lost my news. Okay, this is the third day. It's okay. It's okay. Don't worry. It's the third day. It happens. See, this should have been done beforehand, but that's fine. It's okay. It's fine. You see, I don't know. It's struggling today. Maybe it's mentally. It's in my head. It's just me. Maybe it's the lights that I haven't turned off. I completely forgot. Amateur. It's just amateur. How can I possibly forget about one simple thing? It's just the lights. Just you just gotta turn off the light. Okay. This might be a long one. Top U.S. and world news today. The United States Armed Forces backed envoy to the United top U.S. and world news today. The United States Armed Forces backed envoy to Ukraine said a peace deal is really close, though Moscow demands major changes. A fragile but possible breakthrough in the war. The capital of Benin saw soldiers briefly seize the national. The capital of Benin saw soldiers briefly seize the national broadcasters before government forces gained control, thwarting a coup attempt. The capital of Benin saw soldiers briefly seize the national broadcaster before government forces regained control, stopping an attempted coup that threatened the country's stability. Tensions spike in East India as People's Liberation Army Air Force jets from China directed fire control radar at Japanese military aircrafts near Okinawa, a dangerous move criticized by the Japanese government. In Africa, the government of Niger states in Nigeria secured the release of 100 school children who had been kidnapped last month, one of the largest mass kidnapping cases in recent memory. In US domestic news, the country's bordering czar defend a crackdown on Somali immigrants. In US domestic news, the country border ah in US domestic news, the country's border czar defended a crackdown on Somali immigrants in Minnesota amid accusations of racial profiling and civil rights concerns. On the economic front in Europe, Emmanuel Macron threatened to impose tariffs on China over the trade surplus between China and the EU. On the economic front in Europe, Emmanuel Macron threatened to impose tariffs on China over the trade surplus between China and the US, escalating trade tensions between the two blocs. Meanwhile, disastrous floods and landslides. Mean, Meanwhile, disastrous floods and landslides in and surrounding regions on Indonesia's islands have killed hundreds, left many missing, and triggered a severe humanitarian crisis as survivors battle disease and lack of medical care. That's the news for today. See you tomorrow. Wow. I hope that went well. It's the third day, so nobody's gonna see it. It's fine. The only reason I would care is gonna haunt my future self when people scrolling all the way down and then find this and then have the willingness to watch through this whole thing. Who are you guys? Who are you people watching this right now, freaking 10 years from now, and having the willingness to actually watch through this whole damn thing? This is my third live stream. It's a random ass live stream for you. It's very meaningful for me because it's my third one, right? But it's random for you. I'm just building the consistency right now. You know what's going on now. You know, you the future self that's watching this right now, you know what's going on over there. Over there on the other side. Um I'm completely blind right now. I have no idea what the future has in hold for me. I have a plan. I have a strategic approach that I'm taking. Everything everything is kind of set up. I just need to do it, which is this. This is this right here. This is part of it, right? This is part of it where I need to build consistency through my daily news reports and my content strategy, which is the Talking Heads, which is the short daily films, which is the long form documentary style videos on YouTube, which is the news report, which is the IRL live streams. It's a lot. It's a lot. And then all the clips that come from all this stuff. It's a lot of contents. That does not include all the content for Imagine, the freaking uh, automation and marketing business. Which leads me to today's sponsor. Today's sponsor is, we have two. Today's sponsor, ImagineBizHelp.com. Go there if you need client acquisition. Whoa, client acquisition systems and automations built for you with AI, directly tailored for your business. That's what we do. If you want everything that we do for you, hands off, that's what we do. Everything. You just sit there and get the clients that are fully interested in paying you. But now, if you don't want us to do that for you, you can go to free.imaginebizhelp.com and get everything that we do for you for free. There's no paywall. You don't have to put in your information. You go there, you can download it directly. You can watch the free course. You can take the quiz. You can book a free audits and evaluation of your business so we can tell you where you are. We can analyze where you are right now and where you want to go and tell you how to get there. Uh, Go to imaginebizhelp.com if you want our help for us to do it for you. And if you want all the free tools, 100% free, everything for you, no paywall, go to free.imaginebizhelp.com. Now, if you're looking to sell your property or you're looking to renovate, rehab, or build a home, we can do that for you. You just simply go to Ugly Property Deals and we'll take care of everything. You fill out a small quiz and we will give you a cash offer on your property. We are mainly looking for distressed properties, something that we can add value to with renovations, a rehab, in order to be able to flip the house. That's our ultimate goal, right? We will buy your house as long as it's a good deal. So if you go to uglyproperty.deal, yeah, uglyproperty.deals, uglyproperty.deals, uglyproperty.deals. You fill out a small quiz and then we take care of the entire process. We cash offer. If you agree on the cash offer, we'll take care of the entire process. We usually pay fees and closing costs, with the goal of fixing and flipping the house. Now, if you don't want us to buy the house, but you're looking to fix your house, we do that as well. We have an in-house contractor network that we use, um, and we go out and help homeowners contractors, landlords, investors who want to fix a home, renovate it, and put it back on the market. Um, we will take care of everything, right? Just you can apply at uglyproperty dot slash rehab, and you can fill out a quick quiz to apply, to see if we are a perfect match for your project. Then we can just start right away. Give you a quote on what everything's going to look like and continue with the process. So, if you're looking to sell your house or you're looking to get a rehab, uglyproperty.deals. And for the rehab slash rehab. Simple, easy, done. Now, are we going to look at the markets? Yes, the fuck we are. Excuse me, cursing. Excuse me, cursing. Okay. Well, we gotta open trading view first. Hopefully it's not gonna be as tough to navigate because now I'm more used to handling the actual software on the computer. Do it all directly from my phone. That's all I need to trade because I use some very simple trading rules, just the Fibonacci, an EMA, and just basic structure, market structure. Trading is all about risk management, right? You can have an edge on a market, which is what I use, my fib, my EMA, my market structure. That's my edge. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to risk management. A percentage of your account needs to be risked to gain double. That's it. I mean, and if you do that long enough, you will win. Your winners have to be bigger than your losers. That's simple trading for you. That's as simple as you get. I I personally like to risk less than 1%. Depending on the trade, sometimes 0.3% or 0.6%. Sometimes I'll go even to 0.9% if I see that is a great opportunity. But I spread that 0.9% into three different trades of 0.3. So you see, I'm not only diversifying, but I'm reducing my risk. That's the whole point of trading. So you can minimize your losses and um, compound your wins. So simple. Very extremely simple. A lot of people overcomplicate it or start taking a gambling approach on it. Not good. Let's see. What do we start with? Let's start with gold. What has gold done so far? What has gone done? Don't want to see this full screen. No, that's fine. Oh yeah, sure, why not? Yeah, full screen. What is price doing? So for the weekly time frame, we have seen since right here. Let's see if we can draw this out for you. So this is where price started to move, right? We had price trending up, started consolidating. If we looked at like the 30-minute time frame, we would see that this candle down and this movement sideways between these three candles. We have one right here, one candle, two candles, and three candles. That right there was sideways all the way until this candle broke structure, broke structure, and broke structure, right? It kept breaking structure. Right here, buyers lost momentum, started to push down, and we came down all the way down to this liquidity area where sellers were stuck and they needed to get back in the market, right? Sellers sell their orders to the buyers. Buyers take control of momentum, and momentum keeps flowing in the direction of whoever has control. In this case, we saw clearly right here the buyers lost their momentum. That's why we see a big wick with no body, right? A very small body right in the middle, but a big long wick. What does that mean? It means that buyers were able to push the price all the way up here. So they bought a lot of orders, kept buying, 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 which rose the price up all the way to where they lost their momentum and the control over the market. And then they started to sell, 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 all the way until they got a good price before, right? They were sellers stuck right here because they wanted to sell at a lower price. So they were looking to go down. They were looking for a bearish move. So once it gets to this point where the previous sellers were stuck, now we have a transfer, right? Right here is an exchange. An exchange happens where the sellers sell their orders to the buyers, and now the buyers take control of the market once again. So, what happened? We grabbed this liquidity area. That's why it's called a liquidity area, because in this spot, we can build an exchange, right? There's exchange uh, momentum building up. So it's a liquidity pool where a lot of orders can be filled and a lot of traders can move their orders. There's a lot of liquidity. There's a lot of money in that market, right? There's a lot of accessible orders that can be placed right in this area. We are usually looking for the last push down before the break of structure. That is the picture perfect liquidity, which is right here what we've seen. We saw a push down, a break of structure all the way up. Buyers lost momentum, a push price down all the way to the liquidity. We had an exchange. Sellers sold their orders to the buyers. Now buyers have control of momentum, and the momentum gets pushed up and up and all the way up. And this happened through May 2025. Let's see, when did the move start? March. March, we reached the top in, let's see, the move started in March 31st. It went to the top on April 21st. So a month. You see and you understand how the market moves when you look back in time. That was a direct month. We could have picked any move through here, and it would have shown us something similar. But we picked this random move right here that I saw where all of this started, and it's perfectly a month from, you see, March 24th. We create a ceiling all the way to March 31st. Top of the ceiling, we break down, we grab liquidity, we boost up momentum all the way to the 21st of April. Then we grab liquidity again to the 12th of May. And then we keep pushing price up all the way till August. So you see that sideways movement all the way to August. And then boom, it broke our previous structure. So you remember where the buyers lost their momentum and then started to sell their orders. So that became a ceiling, the top of the box. And that was really hard to break open. So it took from all the way from April to September 1st. September 1st. So August 25th, momentum started. And then by September 1st, that ceiling was being broken. So that broke. And then now we confirmed that price is shooting up. If it had broken this bottom lid, we would have clearly understood price breaks that and keeps shooting down. Right? Simple market structure. Simple market structure. I have these terms so it is easy to understand, grasp, and see it in the market. The box with the lid in the bottom. Nobody else is going to talk about the market like that, right? And expansions, contractions, like a spring. A box and a spring. That's all you need to understand the market. Momentum, right? You compress the spring, you have enough momentum for the market to push up. Either way, depending on where it is. If it's at the bottom of the box or at the top of the box, and if it's breaking or above or breaking below. So now we saw that break above this previous ceiling that buyers created before. Boom. That happened in September. And then boom. We reached a new high in October 2025. October 13, 2025. And we have been there ever since. So you know how it has to expand and contract. We had this previous expansion which was pretty long, which is right here. That expansion came from this expansion. And then if you want to illustrate this even a little better, we might do a contraction. And then this was the contraction, right? And let's change this to red. Nope. Yep, let's change that to red. So the expansion, the contraction, right? Expansion, contraction. Then we went sideways all the way to another expansion and then another contraction, which we are in right now. So another contraction all the way to a liquidity area, and I'll show you this liquidity area on a lower time frame because right now we are on the weekly. We're looking at the big picture, right? We were just looking at April 2025, so we understand that we're in the big play. So expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, and then now we are in a new expansion, right? We are looking to break this new ceiling, top of the box, this new ceiling that we built, um, and or this bottom. But as price has shown us lately, we have seen that price is moving completely sideways, completely sideways. Now price moved exactly to this liquidity point. So we talked before, for a move to be valid, we need a for a liquidity pool to be valid, we need a push down before a big break of a lid, right? So this is exactly what we see here. That this was our last push down, and price went dot for dot exactly to that point. So it grabbed liquidity. So sellers reached a top. They started to sell all their orders. Price dropped all the way down to this liquidity. Then the previous sellers who were looking to go down lower sell all their orders to the new buyers, and then those buyers take price further up. It's an exchange that happens at these liquidity areas. We have a push up. Now we see what's happening. Same thing that is happening in the bigger time frame. So in the bigger picture, an expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction. We see it on the lower time frames. Right here. And this expansion was clearly not strong enough to break above this ceiling, which is what we're looking for. But what this told us, it confirmed that this is a liquidity grab because we see a change of character in the market. So from trending downwards to now trending upwards. Why? Because we have new higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows. So we are creating a trending market upwards, and we continue to break previous higher lows. So right here, we broke above beautifully, and then we grab liquidity, and then we broke above again, and now we're ranging, right? So let's draw this. Um, Brush. Let's do white brush. Oh no. I didn't want to change that one. Okay, that's fine. So that was our small push up on the lower time frame. So smaller, more zoomed in into the present moment that we are in right now. Because this happened right here, November. So a couple months. Last month, November, at the start of November, this move. So we reached the bottom of the market where we saw an exchange from sellers having momentum to buyers having momentum. We broke this structure. We created new trend all the way up here. And then we had a retracement of price all the way to another liquidity. And now we see another extension. And then price right now could want another pullback before we keep pushing forward. It's basic market structure. Very basic. It's a little confusing. So let's put this, let's make this red. Nope, can't. What happened? I want to change something. Okay. This should be red. Nope. Okay. All right, this is I'm gonna try one more time to fix this. All right. That should be red. And then this one should be red. So now we see the patterns. We see and we understand that there's patterns in the market. Expansions, contractions, just like a spring would, and top of the box and bottom of the box, which we call ceilings and floors of the market structure. So right here we broke above. Now let's go look at a lower time frame. So if we look at the lowest time frame, so this was our last pullback, which led us to a new expansion where we broke price right here. Boom, we broke above, and then we've been in that sideways movement right now. So we want to first break above this price to then be able to break above this price. Today, price hasn't done much. We're always looking at the bigger time frames, right? Let's see. Broke above here. We failed to break above here, so price tried to grab liquidity. It pushed back down. Right now, this is a bearish trend, but we're bearish trend on the 30-minute time frame. That's what you need to understand. Weekly, we are fully bullish. If anything, this is sideways because we haven't broken above this, and we also have not broken this. So that's what we would like to see, this one right here. Any break either above or below for us to come into the market. That's gold. Not much to see on gold. Let's see, maybe the index. Let's try the S&P. Well, what do we have in the S&P? So you can kind of see this clear structure that we've been talking about more on the S&P than anything, because it moves perfectly. What are the news? U.S. futures steady as Fed meeting eyed. Carnava gets a spot in the S&P 500 ahead of these tech stocks. Okay. So right here, we say clear break, pushed all the way up, grab liquidity, push up, and then we are just trending up right here. We broke right here above. It's a beautiful market. I'm not in the S&P. I was, but I got out. Okay. What do I want to see for the S&P? Let's go daily. Then let's turn this off. That's perfect. Would not break below, and now it's been shooting up ever since. This was about kind of the end of November. I remember that clearly. Everybody was panicking about price reaching down here, but that was just a liquidity grab. It was grabbing liquidity to keep pushing up, and now we're in a upward channel. Let's see. Let's clear this up a little more. Right here, we had a shoot up, grab liquidity, shoot up, grab liquidity. Let's confirm that. So we can grab this from here. So this is a very smooth market that is trending up almost perfectly. If you were to get in this market, it would be the perfect time. Now, if you see it at the inside more closely, we can try to understand what's going on from here to here. This shot up, wasn't able to reach all the way up, cross down. I wouldn't have gotten this trade either way. Oh, maybe it wicked perfectly and then it shot up. We had a clear break, but no new candles being open or closed above that, as we can see. Oh yeah, we had, so we broke above this, we opened and closed one candle, so that is a confirmation of a new trend being set up. Now we go from this all the way up here, and we have more price. So let's get our forecasting tools. I think it was Ghost, and then price can go down here. Or price can go down this way and then break above this lid once again, retest that, and then go find new levels. So that's what we see right now. This price is very, very supported right here. Supported. So most likely looking to break above this one to then continue upwards to break new trends. And that is the all-time high. So that'll be interesting when that happens. Yeah. Okay. I think we're definitely reaching the all-time high. Maybe the next couple months. Next couple months we can see that probability play out. Now let's see oil. Oil. Oil has been pushing up because of a lot of talks with Ukraine, Russia, China. So it is very, we're always looking to get price of oil all the way down. I would like to see 50, but right now we're at 60. Let's see. What are you doing, Mr. Gold? What's the oil? What are you doing, Mr. Oil? Let's see. On the bigger time frame, see a clear push down. Waiting for the retracements. This literally everything we have here. We start here. Okay, let's start there. So there's our bottom, swing low to our swing high. That's our market. Price grab liquidity right here. Do we have a circle? Can I have a little circle? Not a dot. I want a circle. 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 Price grab liquidity right there. So now we continue to from there all the way down here, but we haven't broken that. Okay, so we would like to see this break, because if we don't see this break, price could go all the way to 70. Yeah, that's where liquidity is. Price could go to 70, and we're looking to push price down. The most recent move, if you take that out, break of structure, it is the most recent break of structure is this one right here, which on the 3 hour we're not gonna see. On the on the daily, yep, on the daily we can see clearly price. This is swing high for when? September, October, November, December. So September 26th, we had that swing high. We've came all the way down from the 26th till the about the 26th of October. From the 20th, around the 20th something, 20 something of September to the 20 something of October, we had this push down, which broke this level right here. right? We broke this. Uh, we broke this. The bottom of the box broke that box. Boom. So price kept pushing down all the way down to this level. We draw our Fibonacci from the swing high to the swing low. We get a clear retracement down to this liquidity area. And we have price right here. That's where the exchange happens. So we break that. We break that box. Boom. Price keep pushing. We have that. So we're ideally, price could still test this one more time before pushing down. But what we would not like is to see price break 66. If price breaks above 66, then we will see a move towards this 70 area. If we see price break 55, if we see price break 55, we'll see it drop to around 50. It's gonna take a couple months because you see how this from here to here has taken several months. So that move in oil is very steady, slow, but sure. Right now we are in a downward trending market because we see this right here. We have not broken above this level right here. So that's our box right now. Our box right now is this. So to further understand price, then we bring in the fib. We do that. And we see that price is in the Goldilocks zone right now. And now for the forecasting, price breaks above this. Price breaks above this. Retest. It can continue, retest again, and push forward. Keep pushing forward. Keep pushing forward. Which is ideally not what we would want because we're in a downward trend. Long term, we're in a downward trend, so we don't want to see this break up above. We want to continue to see this consistent movement that we've been seeing. Price take this liquidity that it's grabbing right now, right in this second, since it's in the Goldilocks zone, and then break past this. So it has to, 1, 2. So it has 3 levels that it needs to break. 1, and then 2, and then 3. There's always 2 possibilities with oil. Well, with any trade, there's always 2 probabilities. You can never predict a market. Understand that you can never ever predict a market. You can always try to see the probabilities and the possibilities. Do we want to see Bitcoin? Sure, let's see Bitcoin. Why not? Okay. Oh. Oh. What do we have with Bitcoin? We've seen this push all the way up. Look at that. Look at that. That is just beauty. Since last time, this is what we marked last time. We were right above over there. When was this? December 4th. So that was last week. Last week we broke above that. Now we are retracing. And so let's draw that. This was the exchange where buyers took over. Buyers pushed price all the way up. Then lost momentum. They're pushing back down. They're at a Goldilocks zone. Looking for another exchange, which, if I'm being honest, will probably happen around 87. Around 87K. And then just continue pushing forward. Continue pushing forward past 100, past 110, and eventually just like that. So we can do also the drawing. Let's do the drawing. Sure, why not? Let's see. So now Goldilocks zone, push all the way up, break above price, and then continue up. Or we break below this zone, which is very, very unlikely. Retest this zone again and continue pushing down. Very unlikely. So this is a beautiful move because you can clearly see the expansion, contraction, expansion, contraction, and then possible expansion or possible further contraction, right? To break the bottom of the lid or break the top of the lid. Simple. Trading is very simple. That's my analysis for today. What do we look at? Gold, S&P, oil, and Bitcoin. Today is Sunday. The markets have opened today. And we'll see how everything goes. Next. That's what it is. Let's look at this one. This is for the US dollar. I don't really trade this, but this is just what we look at for context to understand the full picture. We wick this, we keep wicking it, but we're not closing above. So we could just be grabbing some liquidity to create momentum. This did just break on the lower time frame right here. So let's switch that. So that break means the dollar is stronger. Let's do this. So now that we've broken pattern, we have a new pattern, and then put prices right here. Let's delete that and then just extend this one. We need to see is if this, yep, that broke above. So that could be a change of character. So we're gonna draw a brand new one. If price had not broken the lid right here, we would have just extended this fib and seen where price is contracting or retracing or pulling back to. But since price broke above this lid, not fully, not how I would want to see a full candle opening and closing above price, but it wicked it. So we're gonna note that and create a new Fibonacci right here, and then just see if price continues to break more, and it's gonna need to grab liquidity for momentum. So right there's the momentum. The reason I pulled this up is because I want to see some news. Where's my news? On the phone, it's very easy to get the news cached. I don't know where it is here. I don't see it. I don't see it. Nah, I don't see the news. Daily news. It's not here. It literally says daily news. Watch list, details, and news, but I don't see the news. Where's the news? No. Symbol, advanced view, settings, advanced view maybe. News. Alright. 24 minutes ago. Oil flat. Fed rate decision in focus. Oil hovers near 2-week highs. That's what we just talked about. US, we did that on our own. Just with a simple box and a spring and a contraction and a momentum and liquidity and all blah 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 blah. We discover that. Oil hovers near 2-week highs. US stock future flat as investors await Fed meeting. Putin wanted AI supremacy. Now Russia is struggling to stay in the race. Damn. Come on, Russia. Commodities intraday targets key levels. Yeah, that's what we saw once again in gold and oil. Dollar finds footing ahead of Fed meets, which is again what we just saw, the dollar index. Asia stocks in cautious mood on countdown to Fed. We don't really look at Asia. US futures steady as Fed meeting eye. Gold gains on Fed rate cut expectations. Japan Q3 revised GDP. Well, I think that's the news for today. we will not be doing a we will not be watching YouTube videos today. That we went way past the time. We went way past the time. So just a quick update. Imagine haven't done anything. Come on, dude. Consistency. Get with the game. Consistency. All I have to do for Imagine is publish the ads. I already have everything ready. I have the creative, I have the funnel, I have the automations, everything is ready. Just publish the ads. Okay. Ugly property. Still have not pulled the list of homeowners so I can cold call. Gotta do that. Pull the list of homeowners to cold call. You have 12 hours of work that you can do. From 9 to 12 you can film videos, and from 12 to 3 you get your shit together. Post the ads, get the leads, do something, and then from 3 to 6 you do the actual focusing on the editing, doing this, doing that, posting, whatever. At 6 o'clock is the stream. Simple, easy. Just do it. Show up every day, everywhere. Purposeful, intentional repetition. Show up every day. Purposeful, intentional repetition. That's what it's called. Purposeful, intentional repetition. Show up every day, everywhere. We are here to teach all, motivate the few, and inspire the proud. That's it for today. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but glory to God, and Lord, have mercy on me.